with Topaz and Numby's banner coming very soon, today is the day we're going to be raising all the alarms when it comes to all the external factors that are going to be affecting their banner, and also about Topaz and Numby's kit as a whole. Because today, I do think this episode, if what you should consider for this character, is definitely going to take a little bit longer when it comes to talking about Topaz and Numby themselves. Usually I like to take a little bit of time to talk about them and then go over all the external factors that could happen in regards to summoning for their banner. But today, I do think with Topaz and Numby is a little bit more complex, thinking about how Topaz and Numby currently will be and will be in the future, and then also all the other things that are externally going to be affecting this banner. So other than that, before we get into this video, make sure to leave a like and a sub on the video if you're going to be enjoying this type of content and this series of content, because I have done this for every other character, and we're super close to 20k subs, which I'd appreciate the sub. If we can get that before the end of the year, that'd be super cool. And let me know if you're going to be pulling for Topaz and Numby, or maybe even Seele, which will be a topic in this video. But let's go ahead and start talking about Topaz and Numby. Now, Topaz and Numby are going to be a hunt centered character with the follow-up attacks as their main source of damage, and with the traces that were recently announced, we're actually going to be seeing a lot more difference in what their traces are compared to a lot of other characters. One of the traces are going to be when Topaz uses a basic attack to deal damage, it will be considered as a follow-up attack. So guess what? This means things like Inner Self Soto will actually be able to proc not only on the follow-up attack that Numby's going to be able to do, but also on the follow-up attack, which is going to be your basic attack. So yes, your basic attack is going to be doing a lot more damage than usual, because you are going to be getting that buffed alongside Numby himself. So really nice to see. Another trait which is really nice is that increase the damage with Topaz and Numby when you're fighting a fire weakness enemy, which of course you want to match that anyway, but this kind of incentivizes Silverwolf a little bit more to be on the team. If you want to brute force something, you're actually going to be getting a plus for having that fire weakness on them. So this is really cool. And then not only that, Topaz and Numby are following into a more supportive role, with themselves being able to give themselves a lot of energy with their third trace, which is when Topaz is in the Windfall Bonanza state, Topaz is going to get more energy from Numby's attacks. So this is going to be really nice to see. She is doing a lot for herself, not only giving herself extra avenues to actually be able to do damage without using skill points, because having her be able to use basic attacks and is getting those follow-up attack damage buffs, you are actually going to be leveling up your basic attack a good amount, just because that's free damage. You don't have to use a skill point. And then when Numby ends up going, you're going to be doing damage as well. That's a follow-up attack. You're going to be getting a lot of extra damage, being able to cycle through your basic attack and follow-up attack, because they will both be considered the same thing. So this is really cool things to see. And then we can't forget that the Proof of Death state is also going to give other characters a chance to do more damage if they're doing follow-up attacks. And that brings us to our first point, which is Topaz and Numby at the current moment, which I've already covered in another video if you want to go watch that one. I don't think there are a lot of characters that can benefit a lot from Proof of Death. Yes, in theory, most characters that do follow-up attacks can, because that's just increased damage just for them hitting that enemy. But when it comes to a consistency base and when it comes to an availability of follow-up attacks, a lot of these things are very conditional, very inconsistent, don't come out very fast. So you are going to be wasting that buff being on them so long. So with Topaz and Numby at the current moment, I do think for any other character that's not Himiko or possibly Clara, I think those are the characters that can use the Proof of Death state the most. But in my honest opinion, I don't think we have any character that is going to be outright just using this buff to its full extent and its full power. And I do think we're going to see that in the future. This is the other point that I want to preface, is that I do think Topaz is by far going to be another Kafka situation, where Kafka is the enabler for dots. She is the main core for that team. Well, I think Topaz is going to fall similarly into the same role, with being able to buff up future follow-up attack characters. And if they get more consistent, more reliable, you're able to direct your follow-up attacks, we can see some crazy stuff happen with Topaz and Numby, because you will be able to make sure that those allies are actually able to hit whoever's in Proof of Death state. So that's overall some really good things to think about when looking at Topaz. But we can't forget about the other banner that's actually going to be alongside Topaz for the first time, which is going to be Seele's Rerun. And as we may all know, Seele is by far an amazing character, a very true to, I guess you could say, their release power, because not only have they been absolutely amazing since the very start, they are still dominating and destroying Memory of Chaos 10, Sim Universe, Swarm, all that type of stuff. She has just not shown any signs of aging, and I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon, especially with Mono Quantum happening and her absolutely busted relic set and all the things that she does with her resurgence. I think she's doing absolutely amazing right now in the current meta, and just another character to look at when you're actually going to be going for Topaz and Numby. Topaz and Numby, I do think are going to be a long-term investment type of character, while Seele, I think she is a really nice foundational unit you can have on your account for sure. If you don't have her, if you didn't get the chance to get her on her release, or if you just started the game, I do think Seele is a really nice pickup for sure. While Topaz Numby, I think they're going to be a little bit of a slow burner. She won't have her full potential at the start, but later on in the future, we might see some crazy stuff from them. And then outside of Seele and Topaz, we also got to remember that we are going to be seeing HouHou and Argenti coming out very soon with 1.5. And yes, as Topaz is going to be releasing, guess what? We also are going to be looking at version 1.6's characters, which is going to be very crazy to think about when they are actually going to come out. Topaz, when she releases or is about to release, we should be getting the leaks for that, or not the leaks, but the drip marketing for 1.6. So that is something to look forward to. With Argenti and HouHou, Argenti's Erudition, remember that's AoE physical. We might see some crazy stuff with Kafka in the future with Break Effect Argenti, which is kind of a meme build people are talking about, but I do think that has potential, and we don't know the damage, of course. We just know that's going to be AoE damage. And then HouHou, for sure, sustain units are kind of the name of the game. In all honesty, they kind of brute force any type of content you want as long as you have your sustain characters built in a way. So I do think that these characters are going to show some really nice signs of hype when it comes to Argenti being really cool, or HouHou being absolutely amazing the same way Luocha, Fushun, Japar, all these other crazy sustain characters are. I do think they are a nice set of characters to look at, and we cannot forget about one extra thing. Just because they were not announced as drip marketed characters, we should also expect a rerun for version 1.5. Now, I do have a slight idea who they might possibly bring for version 1.5 when it comes to having them with Argenti and HouHou. Now, there are two different ways you can think about this. One being chronological order. So after Seele, we did get Jing Yuan as the next banner when it comes to whoever's in the same release order of after Seele, it was Jing Yuan. So that's a possible rerun that could come out with Argenti and also with HouHou. Now, personally, me, I do think because we haven't seen, I guess you could say, a crazy hype around Argenti or HouHou, because these are going to be new characters that we've never seen before. We've never had any interactions with them in the story, nor are their designs anything to die for, I guess you could say. I do think they might try to skip Jing Yuan because we are going to have a Erudition character there anyway, and they don't want to outshine Argenti if Jing Yuan is better than Argenti, or if Argenti's there, they kind of don't want to have Jing Yuan just be on the sidelines as a wasted rerun unless you really wanted him. I do think they might skip Jing Yuan for now and wait till there's not an Erudition character, or wait till there's not a DPS in the set of characters that they're going to be releasing. We might end up seeing, I guess you could say, Silverwolf, because if you look at it right now, Jing Yuan, if he's out, then we already have two Erudition characters coming out. Yes, Topaz and Numby and Seele are the same path, but Topaz and Numby are kind of a sub DPS slash follow-up enabler, while Seele is a full carry, full hyper carry unit, and I guess you could say they share different roles in that aspect, while Jing Yuan and Argenti most likely will end up sharing the same role, which is AoE damage. Now for Luocha, when you look at HouHou, they're both going to be sustain units. We don't know what HouHou does at the current moment, but having characters like Jing Yuan and Luocha being able to fight the characters that are going to be releasing isn't a good look when it comes to them wanting you to spend as many jades as possible. So I do think that Silverwolf being a nihility character, not clashing with Argenti, not clashing with HouHou, seems like a really big play on them if they want to do so. Now, I honestly don't think, in all honesty, if they do want to run Silverwolf with these set of characters, that is going to just, I think, in my honest opinion, might bring Argenti down and HouHou down, because everyone's just going to go straight to Silverwolf because she is just that freaking strong in the game. But we don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see when it comes out. I am very excited to see the stream for Argenti and HouHou. I am very excited to see the drip marketing for 1.6, but that's pretty much all there is to think about when it comes to Topaz and her banner, and I'm just very excited to see all of it. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. See you on the next one, and peace.